Yeah,
Hello,
go.
hockey fans. We're here for a new episode, the final episode of the regular season playoff season for NHL year 2022. Colorado Avalanche are the champions. I'm here with Caps, the captain of the show, the muscles in the sauce. T-shirt coming soon. Let's just get right into this. So Colorado won the cup. I think we both had that pegged from day one of the season.
Yeah.
Which I'm very proud of that, by the way. So, good for us. But Colorado played really well. Outside of one game in this series, I would say they were the better team the entire time.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah. Cale Makar looked amazing. Won the Conn Smythe. Deserved it.
And he's going to be great for years to come.
Oh, yeah. He has potential, like GOAT defenseman potential. So let's see where that goes. Can this team stay together? We'll see how the salary cap goes, but I mean, Tampa Bay wasn't terrible. I mean,
Vasilevsky is still the best goalie in the world. So, no, they didn't look terrible at all. I mean, they reached the finals. So, they still got great players and they still got a good team. And you might not see some of those guys come back, but I think the first thing they got to do is get rid of Corey Perry because he's bad luck. I really got nothing else to say. I mean, Colorado was a better team. We picked them from the start, and we knew that it was either going to be Florida or Tampa. I don't care what anybody says. Florida, Tampa, or the Leafs are going to make the finals. So
it's true, though. Yeah, it's true. Someone from that side was probably going to make the finals, and Colorado was going to make it in the West. I think they're just a really good look into what proper managing and making smart trades can get you. Because a lot of people were like, "Oh, the Mackinnon trade is not going to help." That helped, and the same thing goes for Tampa Bay side. They made a lot of smart little moves throughout the season. Good for them.
And I think Colorado got Manson, right?
Yeah,
I
think Tampa Bay is going to be just as good next year, and so is Colorado. So everyone else needs to figure it out. Yeah, everyone else is going to need to figure it out.
Yeah,
they didn't even have point for the entire playoffs, basically.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's good that Colorado won in Game 6 because in Game 7, Point was supposed to come back, and that could have been a difference maker. We don't know. Anyways, so let's move on. I want to talk about the awards because we didn't really touch on that much because we didn't know all the winners in the last episode that we did. So obviously we know the Hart Trophy went to Austin Matthews, MVP of the league. Fantastic, good for him. I didn't think he was going to win how he did. By votes, he won in a landslide. I didn't think he was going to finish that much higher than Connor McDavid, but he absolutely killed the first overall voting. Good for him. He deserved it, right?
Yeah,
Come on.
I don't know if he's like the best player in the league, but I don't know. The voting is kind of sketchy to me.
You can make the argument that Austin Matthews definitely belonged in the top. I think that's fair.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
All right. The Norris went to Cale Makar. I mean, what a season for the guy. Norris Trophy, Conn Smythe, Stanley Cup.
Then you can also make the argument that Roman Josi had a friggin' fantastic season as a defenseman. But Cale Makar is going to be great for years to come. I mean,
I think if you really look into the advanced stats, I think the defensive metrics, Cale Makar was better. Yeah, Josi had more points, but I think when you look into everything deep, Makar was. This is one of the first times that they didn't just give the Norris to the most highest scoring defenseman.
Yeah, I thought Victor Hedman was up there though too.
Victor Hedman did have a really good shot, in my opinion, of winning. So that's fair.
Because I think it was his most productive season I think he's ever had. Yeah,
he was great, and I've always been an advocate for him winning because I think he's the best defenseman of the last 10 years, consistent.
So.
Austin Matthews won the Ted Lindsay. I mean, good for him again. Not much I could say. He had a career year. Good for the guy. Except that he's going to cost a crap load of money when that contract expires now.
Yeah. And they're not going to be able to afford it.
Oh no. Moritz Seider won the Calder Trophy from Detroit. He had a really good year.
I thought it was going to be the guy from Anaheim.
Zegras?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm surprised Bunting finished third in the voting. I didn't even know he was still a rookie. I didn't know this entire season that he was still a rookie.
Yeah.
It really caught me off guard.
Wait, was it Anaheim or Minnesota?
Anaheim was Zegras.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And but yeah, just quick breakdown too. Matthews and Marner both made the first All-Star team. And Bunting made the all-rookie team. So congratulations for that. Let's go. A Vezina Trophy. Shesterkin, we knew that probably was going to happen. You know what's funny to me? That Vasilevsky finished fifth in voting. I mean, they didn't have the greatest season, but he's just always a goalie that is at the top. You know what I mean? And fifth seems kind of far out for him, especially with Frederick Anderson finishing ahead.
Agree.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's basically it. I don't know if I want to go too deep into the other awards. If you want to know, Lady Bing was Kyle Connor. He deserved that, actually. King Clancy was PK Subban. We might as well just do them all. Bill Masterson was Carey Price. Selke was Patrice Bergeron again. But, you know, the guy does what he does. And Jack Adams award was Daryl Sutter. Congratulations, Daryl Sutter.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it would have gone to the guy in Florida, but okay.
I mean, hey.
All right. Well, I like to look up the King Clancy Award because what the hell's I don't understand what PK won there. You know, it's best exemplifies leadership qualities on and off the ice, who's made a significant. Okay, I see why they picked him. Okay.
Yeah, it's the guy who does the most for the community. I don't know if it's voted by players or by writers. It might be by players.
Okay.
Okay, so let's just segue that right into the coaching. We might as well just chug on through this. So current job openings. Boston Bruins have no coach at the moment. Detroit Red Wings have no coach at the moment. Winnipeg Jets have no coach at the moment. So I don't even want to get into speculating that. We can do that in the off-season episodes of who's going to go where. Let's go right into hiring. So Chicago Blackhawks. They hired Derek King. Is that Derek King, the hockey player? I would imagine so.
Yeah.
Has he coached before? I don't.
To
be honest with you, I don't remember Derek King. Maybe he was like an assistant coach or something, or in the AHL.
I mean, he teams he's coached Chicago Blackhawks since 2021. Yeah, he was an assistant coach for the Rockford Ice Hogs. So I guess he was an assistant coach somewhere. So he does have experience. So I guess this is his chance.
You want to know how I brain farted there? Because we just talked about this. He's the interim head coach because Luke Richardson is coming in next year.
Oh gosh. Okay.
We just talked about it. So yeah, Luke Richardson. Luke Richardson was assistant coach in Montreal, I believe.
Yes, he was.
Okay, so I don't know really, is that the right guy for a rebuilding Chicago team? I mean, I guess you give him a shot. And if Derek King's there and he spent the season as the interim coach.
Well, he was an assistant coach for the New York Islanders and he was assistant coach for the Montreal Canadiens. So, yes, I think you're right. I think it's just about giving some of these players a shot to excel at something else. Is he the right guy? Time will tell. I'm not too sure. Yeah.
I mean, you can't really dig too deep into that one. The Dallas Stars hired Peter DeBoer. And I remember talking to you when we went to the Hockey Hall of Fame that I was under the impression that Peter DeBoer was going to be an unhireable coach. Apparently not, because he immediately got hired the next day after we got home. But
he took the Vegas Golden Knights to the finals. So
he did, but he was widely considered by the team. They wanted him out. The players wanted him out.
Sometimes a change of scenery does good for someone.
I mean, yeah.
Time will tell. I mean, a lot of these teams are just taking risks with some of these guys that they're hiring.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like the way that that's gone so far, it has been really strange to me.
How so?
Because it just seems like there's a lot less interviewing going on for coaching jobs than it is just this guy did something, I'm just going to hire him. That's how it feels. Like it's how it's coming off to me. Maybe the Luke Richardson kind of choice is the right choice, where you push forward to the future. You look at new guys that have potential of doing it rather than just, oh, this guy did this with this really good team, I'm just going to hire him. You know what I mean? That's been like kind of the trend of the last couple of years in hockey. Oh, someone's available, go get him. Like a lot of former players and like analysts tweeted out good luck to a team coming up for signing a coach. But we'll get there, okay? We'll get there. The Edmonton Oilers, it says that they signed Jay Woodcroft. So
who did they sign?
Woodcroft, who was the interim coach.
He took him to the semifinals, which is first time since early 90s that the Edmonton Oilers have made that. No, what am I talking about? They made it to the finals
against Carolina, didn't they?
Against Carolina, yeah, when Pronger was part of the team. I think he deserves it.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. They played well.
I think he did a better job relating to the players and getting them going as opposed to Dave Tippett. But time will tell if he'll be able to repeat what he did
towards the
year.
End there. Yeah.
Because
that's fair. Florida Panthers, Brunette took over as the interim head coach. Paul Maurice has signed on there. I kind of like it. I think he's a decent fit for this team.
It's crazy how a team like Florida was had the season that they had and couldn't do nothing in the playoffs. Well, they won a series, so I'll give them that much, but they should have gone farther. They dominated a lot of teams this year, and they should have gone farther. Was it a shock that they fired the coach? Do you think it was a shock? Yeah.
Especially because they really, in the short amount of time he was there, they were thriving under Joe Quenneville.
And that's what I think that they were missing. That experience for the playoffs that Joe Quenneville has. This interim coach, I don't think really had that kind of experience. And I guess wasn't able to motivate or get what he needed out of the players during the playoffs. I think they made the right choice.
I think so
let's
too.
See what Paul Maurice can do.
New York Islanders hired longtime Barry Trotz assistant coach Lane Lambert. That kind of gives me hope. If you look into the history of NBA and NFL, a lot of the better coaches that come up that are new come from the lineage of like the great coaches like Greg Popovich or Bill Belichick in football. And so Barry Trotz is a really good coach, and maybe this guy's going to carry some of that legacy along with him. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, but they had a bad season last season with Barry Trotz as coach.
They did, but I think the Barry Trotz firing was we just had to do it. Barry Trotz is not a bad coach. Come on, we all know that. There's no way you're going to look at me and tell me that was Barry Trotz's fault that they did bad last year. They were injured all year. They don't really have a superstar player, so you can't really put the blame on him. They fired him to fire him, and Lambert's going to carry on the same type of coaching. So let's see what they could do. Philadelphia. So this is the one I was talking about. If you want to tell us who the coach is.
No, go for it.
So John Tortorella signed in Philadelphia. This is the one where all the former players and stuff, a lot of Columbus people were being like, good luck with that. So
it's like, for me, Tortorella is a guy that has success short term, but long term, it just starts tapering off.
The team starts to deteriorate under him after a while.
Yeah, after a while. Like at first, they're going to play well. I know that Philly's going to play well next year, and they'll probably have a really good season. But then after that, they're just going to start tapering off.
Yeah. From my experience with Tortorella, what you do with him is you bring him in for 2 or 3 seasons to get a team going, and then you get rid of him before it becomes cancerous and the team falls apart, and you bring in somebody else. Because we know he's a hard-nosed coach, and that's what he's going to bring to the table.
And he's going to be that same coach for these guys. I mean, Drew's not there anymore, so I don't think they got a captain. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things, like when they hire these new coaches, it's one of those things where time will tell what's going to happen. And with Tortorella, like I said before, it happened with the Rangers, it happened with the Canucks, it happened with the Blue Jackets. They have the success at first, and then afterwards, it's just complete turmoil, and players start turning against them. You see some big trades here and there, and that's it. He's gone. But let's see what happens with Philadelphia. They're going to struggle because like their goalie is.
Yeah, they're in a rough situation right now. Yeah. I think just as a team in general. So they need one more good draft, I think, and maybe a good signing. Okay, we'll move on to the last team here. So Vegas Golden Knights signed Bruce Cassidy. Kind of musical chairs here. If somehow Boston managed to sign Joel Quenneville, they'd just be passing it along. Wait, am I talking about the right team? No, I'm not. Dallas's coach. Anyways, I don't even remember who Dallas's coach was, to be honest with you. Well, it doesn't even matter. So do you feel like Bruce Cassidy really gave you anything? Like, could you pick Bruce Cassidy out of a lineup?
I think Boston was starting to show their age, and they're going to have to go through some changes afterwards. So I don't know if it was necessarily Bruce Cassidy's fault. Then again, they do have some good players there. I think, Boston was turning it on towards the end of the season too, under Bruce Cassidy. So, he's going to have some challenges with Vegas. And I think the biggest challenge he's going to have there is, why am I drawing a blank? The guy that came from Buffalo. Oh my God.
Eichel, Jack Eichel.
Eichel, Jesus.
I don't know how I didn't know what you were talking about at first. What is this guy talking about?
Yeah. It's always fun to have a podcast after a long work day. Okay. But that's probably going to be the biggest challenge for him is Jack Eichel. And because if we all know that he has an attitude, and the goalie, whose name I can't remember.
Robin Leonard. But I forgive you because I just talked to you for 20 minutes before this and still thought that the Chicago's head coach was. So, I mean, it's fair game.
Just to let you know, Rick Bowness was the last Stars head coach.
Rick Bowness, yeah. Oh. Sure.
Former Buffalo coach.
I can't tell if you're trolling me or not because that sounds like a made-up name.
No, I see it. It's right in front of me.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm not going to go ahead and say Bruce Cassidy's not good. But like I said, if you asked me to pick him out of a coaching lineup, I wouldn't be able to tell you who he is or what he's ever done because the Boston Bruins have been a perennially they've been amazing since they won the Cup.
Yep.
Forgive me not being able to pronounce English words today. I'm very tired. But we're in the same boat here. But I feel like, let's be honest, Boston has been great for like 12 seasons, 13 seasons. So you can't tell me that it's because of the coach. It hasn't been Bruce Cassidy this whole time.
Maybe there was something going on behind the scenes or something like that.
Yeah. We never know. That's always a thing.
I don't really think it was a coach, because there were times like during the season where Boston was going to pass Tampa and Toronto in the standings, and they would have had home ice advantage. They turned it on halfway through and towards the end of the season. So I didn't really see an issue with Boston, to be honest with you. That's just me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see that either. I have to really agree with you on that. I really didn't. Okay, I guess moving on to the last thing here. Well, I have one more thing, but we'll make that quick. So the Maple Leafs signed Liljegren. They re-signed Liljegren, 2 years, $2.8 million extension. It's 1.4 a season. Bargo seemed pretty upset by this.
I'm not so sure why.
I don't think this really makes a big deal.
It's 1.4 season.
Yeah, to me,
I don't understand what the issue is.
My issue with it is that 2 years is not long enough. It's just a bridge, and should he end up breaking out in one of these 2 seasons, he's going to demand like $6 million, and you're not going to get him back. Absolutely. Which is the problem. I think you should have gave him a little bit more and locked him down for 4 seasons.
The problem is that they still got to lock down Sandin. They got to lock down Mikheyev if they wanted to come back, and they got to lock down Campo.
My big issue with the Leafs and the way that they have to sign players now is that they're constantly setting windows for themselves. 1 year, 2 year, maximum 3 year windows. Yeah. And it's like when every time they exit one of these windows, they have to build these new ones. And it's like if they're really having to win in this time span and they're not doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you, man. With the Liljegren thing, it's like there has to be 2 sides agreeing to this thing. I think Liljegren probably could have asked for a little bit more. But for obvious reasons, I don't think the Leafs are in a position to give him more. But they might be able to in a couple of years when the cap hopefully goes up a lot. But the fact that they were able to lock him down for 2 more seasons, it's going to be very, very interesting in 2 more seasons, because you have Liljegren, who's going to be done with his contract. And then we have Matthews and Nylander that are going to be done in 2 years. And it's going to be very interesting to see how much they're going to ask for.
Matthews is going to end up being the highest paid player in NHL history. I can almost put money on that.
So the Leafs are going to have to pray that the cap goes up a lot. And the only thing outside of that, they're going to have to trade Tavares.
But I think
Tavares is going to be the one to have to trade.
Let's be honest. In 2 years, Tavares is not going to be as useful as he is today.
That's why I said. That's why it has to be him. And good luck having anybody try to take down that contract.
The Coyotes. But I mean, when you look at this, I think I want to test your theory that you had, which was, I think the Leafs are building a window, not for a cup, but to the next salary cap hike. So, I mean, if it does end up going up a lot, this could be if we start seeing all these contracts come out as 2 years, 2 years, 2 years for the rest of the signings they do, that could be really what it is, that they know that, or they have expectations that this cap is about to go up a lot, and all we have to do is make it to this point and we can re-sign everybody.
It's and I'm hoping that it does go up. They only have $6 million to play with to sign the rest of the players.
Yeah, but I feel like they're gonna dump.
They're gonna have to. They have to get rid of Peter Mrazek, and they're gonna have to get rid of Hall.
They're gonna package Mrazek and Hall to one of those bottom feeder teams that needs to hit the cap floor for a draft pick.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a first round pick on those 2 guys for like a 5th and a 6th round pick or something.
Yeah, they're gonna have to sprinkle a lot onto those potential trades that they're gonna have to make so that they can get other teams to take those players. That would give them a lot of breathing room to
on a lower tier team, on a rebuilding team. A Justin Hall doesn't look so bad. And Mrazek as your backup goalie doesn't look so bad either. But I agree with you for the cost. It might not be the greatest thing, but if you're really at the bottom of the salary cap barrel and you're rebuilding, I mean, it's not going to hurt you to take on those two guys specifically. You could go way worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't really see the problem with signing Liljegren for 1.4.
I don't. And I think if you can get Sandin on a similar contract, you scored.
Yeah, like based on what I'm seeing, like there's no way that he would ask for, a lot more money. They won't be able to give it to him.
No, I agree.
And having those two as your bottom two, like I don't know what the problem is.
I agree. No, I fully agree.
And Lyubushkin, I don't think it's even signed.
No, you're gonna have to sign him. And the problem, I'm gonna tell you this, he's gonna want money.
Yeah, he's definitely.
He's gonna want in the $3 million range for sure. Where he was making like what last year? $1 million maybe. I don't even remember. I'm pretty sure he came over with a very small contract.
Yeah, dude, like they're in a bit of a pickle, and it's gonna be tough. It's going to be.
It's going to be more buy into the system. I think if they can convince people to buy into the system, it might work out. Okay, so
do you know why Lyubushkin's going to ask for more money? Because he's 28 years old and this is his last chance to ask for a lot.
And he had a great season.
Yeah,
it was a career season for him all around.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to ask you one question before we end this. I sent you the report today where the Pens are not really speaking to Malkin at the moment, and apparently they're 2 years apart with Letang. So here's my question. Do you pay these guys and go through all the trouble to get them now to hope you have a shot at a cup? Or do you let them go and do a full rebuild with Crosby getting a chance to carry the young guys and mentor them for the next generation of Pens? Like, do you go for a tank and hope that you get number one pick and then Crosby's going to be able to mentor somebody? Or do you sign these guys and give them whatever they want? Because being 2 years away on Letang means he probably wants a 4-year contract. And he's not young anymore.
I think they're going to have to pick one or the other. I do not think they need to rebuild just yet. In my opinion, I think Malkin is still very effective. I don't think they need Letang, in my opinion. That's a very hard question to.
I think Letang, though, I think I kind of agree with you because I think as a career trajectory, I feel like Letang slots in better on a team that has cup winning potential for sure as a defenseman, like on the Rangers or something like that, rather than on the Penguins going forward. So a team that really needs an experienced guy to come in on defense and fill in a spot.
Yeah, I'm looking at their cap friendly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They need to sign 10 players, and they got $23 million of cap space.
Yeah, and Malkin's definitely going to want 7+. And I can promise you that Letang wants like $5 million at least. He probably wants a 5x4. This is all speculation.
This is all speculation, but I think they're still effective. I think Malkin's still effective, and Letang, that guy's gone through a lot of injuries. That's Brian Burke is going to have to figure things out. I don't think they need to do a rebuild just yet.
Okay, that's fair.
I think they can do a hybrid where they can inject new players and have Malkin and Crosby kind of like.
It's kind of what they've been doing, but the problem is they hit the end of the cycle of their rookie contracts and end up having to dump most of the guys.
Yeah, I only have one goalie signed, eh? Wow. They could take Peter Mrazek.
Hey, there we go. We'll take Malkin, you take Mrazek.
We have to spend they'll have to spend about $7 million on their goalies.
Okay, well, I want to ask you one hypothetical question because I don't want to drag this episode out. Would you trade Tavares for Malkin?
No.
Okay. I don't even want an explanation. I just wanted the answer. All right,
one's 35, one's 32. Oh man, but one's making 11 million, the other one's making.
And one's one of the greatest players of all time, and the other one's John Tavares.
I wouldn't put Malkin as one of the greatest players of all time.
He'll end his career like somewhere in the top if he can not get injured.
I think he's a great player. I just don't know if he's one of the greatest. But that's just my opinion on it.
It's the wrong one.
What do you think?
I would take it.
You would make the trade?
Yeah.
What if they were both making 11 mil?
Let's keep Tavares. You don't win in that trade by not saving salary cap. Do you know what I mean? Because the age thing is number one, I think. And also Malkin has struggled to be healthy, so the Leafs don't need more of that. Anyways, let's end this episode. Guys, thank you for watching. We'll be back throughout the summer with episodes periodically, but they won't be as consistent as they've been all season. Thank you for being here. Season 5 will continue until the new season of NHL starts. Thank you for watching.